Hello, human being. Human, mortal, person, soul, Homo sapien, earthling, higher animal, living person. Welcome to part 2. In case you're inept, enjoy this greatest hits audio reel from part 1. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I didn't like this song.
We saw Saul Hudson live
did.
here in Windsor.
We did. Hold on, though.
Slash, is it real?
Shan! Big dumb sex.
Yes.
You're
the greatest, Mikey.
You want to talk about self-indulgence and bloatedness.
I love it. Eminem's always like... Always.
They are Guns N' Roses, not Guns and Roses. LOL. I gotta be that guy.
Yeah. I'm such a poser.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So-
I was 18.
Dude, you're crushing this. What's happening right now?
Slash doesn't have a girl in this
I know,
video.
I kinda
And
like
it's
that.
Slash, though.
Do you know why?
Because all
his
he
woman
needs...
is his guitar.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly...
Is this song called Kevin Costner? Axel sings this in a garbage English accent. I've no idea why you even do that.
He wants you to say the They're Guns
Guns
Roses.
N' Roses. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The Spaghetti Incident is the band's 5th album. It's a covers album.
Water.
Why?
It's kind of funny. I mean...
Over 100 million albums worldwide. Iggy Pop! Amen!
Oh, man. You're a fool, Mikey.
Yeah.
There's a heaven above you, baby.
So it's better.
Oh, man. I can never listen to that song ever again.
Axl Rose was a precursor to Eminem with the Spaghetti.
Slash like Santa Claus? Think about it. How can Slash be everywhere?
Oh my gosh. And now, enjoy number 2. Next song is Hair of the Cheyenne. Hey there. If you want to listen to this clip, you're gonna have to go download the album. If you dare. It's pretty shitty. Hence the purpose of this podcast. Anyway, back to the show.
They're just like, ha, yeah. We'll play that all day.
White privilege. Nothing's gonna happen to us.
No. You can say that on the radio.
Oh my
Apparently, you
gosh.
just have to, be white.
Those days are over.
Yeah.
But for now, whee!
Also, apparently, when you're white, you can sample and not have to give credit for it.
What's
like
up?
at the end, the Beatle reference.
Oh, the Day Tripper.
The Day Tripper riff. There's
Yeah.
no reference to that.
Is it because it's slow and he's playing it? He didn't sample it.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't?
He's still playing it.
I don't know. I don't know how that
Yeah,
works.
he's still playing somebody else's music, and he's not crediting them.
Poor Paul. I mean, hopefully he's got some money coming to him. I mean, he's really struggling. So this was the 3rd single off the record, originally done by Nazareth in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Axl has stated that his favorite singer is Dan McCafferty.
What?
Evidently.
Okay,
He probably just said that because that's a cool thing to say, maybe.
I guess.
The dude does have a phenomenal voice, though. Love Hurts. Like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, that guy. Anywho, I remember hearing this on rock radio back in '93 and like digging it, but it may have been just the novelty of hearing "bitch" on the radio as a teenager. Like, ooh, I don't mind it. It's definitely more obnoxious than the original. Some nice guitar work by Mr. Hudson,
Always.
Talkbox, and Day Tripper lick tagged on the end.
I kind of wish he didn't. I know you can't
know.
do that song without a talk
I know.
box, but
I know.
if anybody could have, maybe Slash could have.
I think it's fine. The Nazareth version is tough to beat, though. I still go with the original. Anything to add for Hair of the Dog?
No, I think I said my piece.
You got a beef.
We started
Hair
this whole
of the dog beef.
We started this whole podcast so I could say that.
You know what? I'll finish up. You got stuff. You got stuff to do. You got errands to run.
Yeah, I will no longer be on any more episodes.
Always leading up to this.
I've always, my poor wife, anytime this song
Yeah.
ever comes on, I go, white. She's like, I know white people. White people get to
He
say whatever they
suggested
want.
Spaghetti Incident right from the get.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to do Van
was
Halen
like,
3.
ooh.
No, let's do Nostradamus, bro. And he was like, Spaghetti Incident,
Spaghetti
bro?
Incident.
Oh, finally got your way.
Yeah.
The band broke up. Super Mr. Funky 9 years ago says, "Ha ha ha, you're a failure to life. I hope you know that, right? And a dumbass looking for problems."
Wow.
Yeah. And he had to have been having a conversation with somebody, but
With Axel.
that wasn't like he was having
I don't know.
Harris Page 2 months ago says, "Needs more cowbell." Nah, I'll work on it. It's okay.
Yeah. Wait, I think I've got cowbell. Hold on.
My serpentine.
It is there.
There's some cowbell.
There is some
in
cowbell.
there.
So that's Serpentine. That would be Steven Adler's cowbell. He just hit it better than Matt. Matt hit it like it was a ride. So Vivian Stanshall 6 months ago says Metallica could do it better.
Why was she talking like that?
I just assumed.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, totally.
All the comments are by Chris Walken. Well, like I know him. Chris. We're on.
Yeah.
He calls me Mike.
Calls him Mikey.
Bud. Steve Donahue 4 months ago says, "This is their best album by a country mile." Appetite for Destruction? I'm sorry, guy, but
Yeah.
Steve,
He's being facetious, Mikey.
never met a Steve I liked.
Yeah, it's true.
Not once. Still to this day. Next up is Attitude. It got some fucking attitude. Isn't that nice? As soon as I saw the length, I was like,
Yeah.
originally done by the Misfits in 1980. Lead vocals by Duff again. Original is better.
Yep.
Glenn Danzig's just a better singer.
Yeah.
Inside your feeble brain, there's probably a whore.
There's probably a horror.
Insightful stuff. Duff gets the lyrics wrong anyway. He doesn't sing that. He sings it wrong. Danzig is just a better singer than Duff, so thankfully it's short.
Yep.
Mother! Nothing?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
My little hum there.
Can't believe what you say to me. Shell Bell 8 months ago says, "I never liked the song Attitude by Duff McKagan, and I'm a huge fan of Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose's singing and songs is what made the band. My name is Michelle, and I like that song and took no offense to it at all. There's barely anything other than attitude, and obviously had a problem with women." It's gold.
That's great,
That's
Michelle.
Shell Bell.
Thank you, Michelle.
My, Michelle. Yeah. Dozer Eyes 8 years ago says, "What's up with the lyrics? He sucks. My mother even knows the lyrics."
I like that. Even my mom knows the lyrics to Attitude.
You got fucking attitude.
Come on, Duff.
Anya 3 years ago says, "He has a British accent?"
Huh? Okay.
All right, next up is Black Leather. How many songs does he go, "Yeah"?
I don't know.
Take that one to heart.
Yeah.
Boo-doo-doo-doo. It's cool. It's a sleazy riff. I feel like this is one of the tracks like suited the band.
Oh, really?
That had that sleazy kind of riff that I feel like Slash probably.
Yeah, I'm
I
with
dug
you.
the vibe. It's kind of sexy. It was
I didn't
cool.
like it at all.
You didn't like it?
I don't like that song.
The song's okay. What about the Sex Pistols version? The Steve Jones Sex Pistols version?
Nah, don't care about it.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on. That was fun. Dan Eden 2 months ago.
Okay.
This is a relevant record.
It is.
This song will make you hit the town, even on a Tuesday afternoon. SJ 4 months ago. When you can't refuse the brain-eating vaccines, the pregnant men take over. Thank God for open borders.
That drop made no sense because that
What is it doing?
made no sense.
What? Why is this guy? What?
I don't know.
Pregnant men take over
What?
in Black Leather? I don't.
Black leather.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening when people are doing that.
No.
Like what? How, you can't put your arms around a memory is the next song.
All right. Let's get a good song in here.
So it's originally recorded by Johnny Thunders.
Johnny Thunders.
In 1978, Thunders was in the New York Dolls and had passed away in 1991. So this was a tribute. Duff even says, "This is for you, Johnny."
Yeah, I like that.
He actually does it a few times. But he does it in the, "This is for you, Johnny." It's like, Duff, you don't talk like that.
You don't talk like that.
No.
Yeah.
But he's trying to be.
That's all right.
So Duff not only sings lead, but he plays acoustic guitar, the bass, obviously, and the drums. Slash and Axl are not on this song at all.
No way.
Yep. I thought it was
Good for
boring.
Duff.
I thought it was a boring song. Didn't do anything for me. But yeah, so Duff is a lot on
Yeah.
this album. So I'm thinking like maybe while Axl was getting a massage and Slash was doing heroin or whatever, like Duff was like, I got to keep this band going. Is Duff McKagan the Paul McCartney of this band? He's just like,
No, the Slash is the Paul McCartney of the band.
Yeah.
In the sense of that man is still doing it to
Yes.
this day.
So's Duff.
What's Duff doing?
He's got his band Loaded. They opened up for Guns N' Roses in the like
that's
2000.
right.
And,
You know
yeah.
what? I knew that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Good for
You
Duff.
know what?
Good for you, Duff.
Another thing about Duff,
Yes.
is he looks great. If you see pictures from the like, he's so bloated
Yeah.
and sad looking. He was so strung out. He is like jacked now. He looks amazing. He's kind of grown into this like chiseled guy. He looks so cool. His bass is like around his knees when he's playing. Like he's got long arms, like arms for days. Like Doug Pinnick from King's X. Like that guy's arms just go forever. I think the bass is on the floor and he's still able to play it. Amazing.
That's pretty cool. I mean, he does seem. I saw his documentary a while back, and that was pretty.
The one on Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, he was really interesting in the sense that he got clean with like martial arts and stuff.
Yeah.
like that's.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I never really you never
Meditation
hear
and
that
stuff,
much.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
Dave
awesome.
Mustaine did the same thing.
Did he really?
Yeah, Dave Mustaine, martial arts was a big thing for him when he sobered it up. There's so I think there's something to that.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
The
You
discipline,
just-
maybe.
Yeah, you just never hear about that much, especially with rockers.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Kioi.
What?
Sammy almost fell over. So the original is better. There's just a pain to the original that's missing from this cover. So
I liked the original.
yeah. So YouTube comments, TMFNSL 4 months ago says, patience question mark?
No. The answer to your question mark is no.
Maxine Godroy 2 months ago says, I love this song, guys. Guys, I love this song. And finally,
Slash isn't real.
Guys.
I have to see this South Park.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it.
Oh my gosh. Adityo Kusnadi 1 year ago says, hello, I'm from Indonesia.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We made it to the end. I Don't Care About You is our final track.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just stepped on it.
Do what the fuck you want!
Okay.
Okay.
You in the jungle! Time to die!
Sorry.
Oh,
I love
so
these.
good.
I love it.
Originally recorded by Fear in 1982. No idea who they are. It's a fine, angry punk tune. It's more F words, but so the real interesting thing
Yeah.
is the bonus hidden track.
Yes.
That
the
starts
bonus song.
a few seconds afterwards. It's a cover of Charles Manson's, yes, that Charles Manson, Look at Your Game Girl. I didn't even know that Manson was a singer-songwriter on the fringe of the LA music scene in the late 60s.
I just realized right now you didn't send,
No, I didn't.
you didn't send it to
There's
me.
a reason for that.
Why?
It was through a chance association with Dennis Wilson, who was the drummer and founding member of, wait for it, the Beach Boys. The group even recorded one of Manson's songs
The Beach Boys did?
called Cease to Exist, which they renamed Never Learn to Not Love as a B-side, but didn't give credit to Manson. In 2010, Manson recorded an album of acoustic pop songs called Completion. GNR are not the only band to ever cover a Charles Manson song, but this is bananas to me, man.
So why didn't you send this to me to play?
Because the man had a swastika tattooed on his forehead. I have no comments on the song. I didn't even clip it because I didn't want to dignify the prick by playing a note of it.
Wow.
Definitely some questionable decisions made here. So even on the bottom of the cover art, there's a code written with the Zodiac Killer's symbols, which has been deciphered as fuck 'em all.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this?
Yeah.
It's interesting that you don't even want to dignify it.
Nope.
You listened to it though, right?
I did, yeah.
I actually
listened to the original too.
I thought their cover was better than the original.
Dude, this song is ass.
I thought
It's not a good song.
I liked the song. I actually thought it was the best thing on the spaghetti incident there.
Wow, that's a big
said
statement.
it.
That's a big statement.
I thought that song was good.
Yeah.
Like if you played me that song, I'd be like, oh, that's a good
Yeah.
tune.
I didn't like the track. Okay. I thought the song was dog shit, and the fact that they covered a
Yeah, that's reckless.
Yeah.
That's just dumb.
yeah, it's pretty stupid. And
Yeah.
you know, they're
But I mean, he wore the T-shirt, the Charles Manson T-shirt on
I know.
the Illusion tour.
I know. You know, looking at guys like that, whether it's a Charles Manson or it's the Zodiac Killer or it's the son of Sam and son
Yeah.
of Sam or it's Adolf Hitler or anything, and being sort of fascinated or curious about how something like this happens or how something like that worked and how the mind worked or anything like that, I think is fine. But you're wearing the shirt, you're covering the songs. It goes a little bit deeper. It's starting to feel like you sort of respect the man. And that's where I have a big problem. The man had a swastika carved into his motherfucking forehead, and you're covering the man's song. It's not listed on any of the track listings, on any of the pressings. Their comments at the time, Axl defending his decision to put it on, is horseshit to me. In later years, even Slash and Axl have said, like, it's not going to be on future pressings. Don't worry, we're going to take it off. And it never happened. They've left it on there. So there's like rebellion and trying to be like pushing the envelope. And then there's outright like, guys, what?
I think
really?
I think it's just more, button pushing. I think that's all it is. I think Axl always wants that kind of like, just
So
to
even
antagonize people.
Like we did mention One in a Million earlier. We don't have to dig too deep, but I mean, even in the Behind the Music episode, Slash is saying, like, as a half black man, I had a big problem with that. It's like, so how do you allow that?
Yeah.
How does Slash say, I guess that it's going to be on the album now? It's like, this is the point of the podcast. What's happening? What's this conversation that nobody can say, Axl, Guy, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But everybody was
So-
afraid of him or afraid to step up. Was Slash just that bombed that he didn't even realize that until after it was too late? And he's like, well, I guess the N-word is on that song now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was just like giving the benefit, like, okay, no, he's got a reason for this.
Sure. The whitest
and-
ginger on the planet says the N-word.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
Sorry, man. I'm
very,
sorry.
very unapologetically too in
Yeah.
interviews and stuff. He
Yeah.
would repeat it, like he would be like, "Why can't I say?" And he would just
Right.
like say it. And,
So he has said that. Oh, right, because he had mentioned things like John Lennon using it as "mother is the N-word of the world," NWA, which he was reaching for straws, I think, by using that as an example. But so the use of the word N-word, very homophobic, anti-immigrant lyrics.
Yep.
So several years
Oh.
later, though,
Yeah.
Rose conceded that he used the N-word as an insult towards black people who had tried to rob him.
Yeah.
And because the word is a taboo.
yes, again, using it as a taboo. Like he knew what he
Before
was doing.
he says insulting it. It's an insult towards black people. And
Yeah.
he used that on purpose because black people tried to rob him, I guess. Which
No,
probably didn't happen.
I don't
but
think
this is
I think it was they were bugging him, like trying to sell him something.
it says tried to rob him.
That's what it was. No, I remember him telling the story about they kept trying to sell me stuff.
it says rob him. So I'm thinking the
Yeah.
man's contradicting himself just to try and go, oh, but I meant it as it's like, no, you're a schmuck. And
Yeah. I don't know. I still I don't think he's all the way there.
I don't think so either.
So here's my thing with Axl.
Okay.
I actually kind of like Axl. I know people love to hate him.
That's pretty easy to.
Right. But I think it's that kind of fine line between, I don't know if I want to say genius, but like like uber creative and crazy. And so it's one of those, we said it with Lulu, like you don't get the great Metallica stuff without getting Lulu, like without getting a band that's willing to go there.
Sure.
I feel like we wouldn't get the great GNR stuff if it wasn't for his, you know what I mean? Like
even his vocal style, I feel like that style takes something really deep in the pit of that man's stomach.
Yeah.
Like that, he's got something in him that you just don't sing like that.
And it's he mentions it being part of why he was late for so many shows is that he has to take some time to get into it, like ready to perform those.
And sometimes he doesn't, so he doesn't go on stage.
Right. And like if you heard that story about a beloved artist, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
right.
to
but
an
because
extent,
he's a tool.
Yeah, and I think that like when Guns N' Roses were huge for those 6 years and they just ruled the world.
Yeah.
I was into them.
Yeah.
And I was at that age where it's like, yeah. And as a man looking back on it, I'm thinking like, who gives a shit? There's thousands of people out there that worked hard to buy tickets to see your band play, and the rest of the band are ready to go. Because Slash is like, man, they paid for tickets. We got to go up there. Like Jason says in the Metallica Behind the Music, he says, those people have worked hard at their jobs and they need some escapism for a couple hours and they bought a ticket with their hard-earned money. You better be on it.
Yeah.
And Axl didn't give a shit. Yeah. So I got a bit of a problem as a grown man now, looking back on Axl. I've got some issues with him. He wore leather jackets with the Confederate flag on it, covering the Manson tune. You want to defend him? That's cool, man. I find it hard. We'll get into it a little bit later. I broke up the YouTube comments in two.
Okay.
So I Don't Care About You, and then the Manson cover as well. So Dylan Grant 3 months ago, I got so fucked by my ex.
Yeah, she didn't care about him.
Yeah, I don't care about you. Roger White 6 months ago. Fear version, the original, is so much better, mainly because Lee Ving lived all the lyrics. The closest Axl came to AVC VVAS to stop in Tompkins Square Park to try to cop some coke, and VVE ran him out. VVE never would have done that to Slash or Duff, etc., because they weren't stuck-up assholes.
Okay, thank you for the background on that.
Did you get all that? What is this guy on about?
I don't know.
What are you on about?
I don't know.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
1993 this came out, guy. Still not over it. Jake Kaufman 3 months ago says, this is for my stepdad who's about to die from his bipolar disorder. Good riddance.
Wow.
So, Guns N' Roses bring out the best in people. And I also have some comments on Look at Your Game, Girl.
Okay.
So this song was recorded twice, actually. Dash Zizon 1 week ago. 1 week ago. This song was recorded twice, actually. One was by a delusional psychopathic egomaniac, and the other was by Charles Manson.
Yeah, I saw where he was going with that one. That was good. That was good. Good for you, guy.
Ariana Grande, 7 months ago, says, a classic ruined. Really? It's a classic? It's a classic.
Come on, Ariana.
I thought The Long and Winding Road was a classic.
No.
Slash 970224 1 year ago says, I really like this cover. I don't get why most people don't like it. Eat up, Pen 15. In the album liner notes, it says, quote, a great song can be found anywhere. Do yourself a favor and go find the originals. I couldn't agree more. Of course, there was one more cover song before the official breakup, and that was a cover of the Stones' Sympathy for the Devil.
Oh, yeah.
Recorded for the Interview with the Vampire soundtrack. In Slash's book, he says, quote, if you've ever wondered what the sound of a band breaking up sounds like, listen to this cover. If there's one Guns track I'd never like to hear again, it's that one.
Wow.
So that's the last thing that Slash was on.
Okay.
So that's our track-by-track review, my brother from another mother.
Good work.
Yeah. So I've got 2 words for Axl Rose.
Okay.
Steven Tyler.
What?
Every singer in the 80s wanted to be Steven Tyler. The scarves, the pouty lips. Axl Rose was no exception, especially in the vocal ability, the approach, the delivery. Having the two distinct sort of ranges like that, with lower octaves being sung in a completely different timbre than the higher octave. As a massive Aerosmith fan, though, as far as I can tell, Steven Tyler isn't a racist or a homophobe. So it seems like...
Yeah.
It seems like with age, Axl has like matured. Excerpts from Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech is featured on a track called "Madagascar" on the Chinese Democracy
I heard
album.
that.
So, do you have anything to add as far as the Spaghetti incident is concerned? I've got notes on just them in general that I wouldn't mind sort of touching on, but Spaghetti incident?
So my question to you is,
Yes.
was this a play at the grunge audience? Was this, because they just come off this huge, pompous, bloated
Double album.
double
Yeah,
album, 30 songs, huge productions. I mean, people would have seen the Novemberine video played over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it just looks like what, I'm sure what prog rock sounded like to, punk guys
Okay.
in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like, so
Do you, I don't
this
know.
is their way of being like, no, guys, we're like you, right? And so they're playing all these songs to be like, accessible to the kids
Yeah.
or something. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I hope. Like, I don't know.
I don't
man.
know. And
for certain
I don't
guys,
know.
maybe like a Duff and a Slash and everything. I feel like Axl is so wrapped in his own thing that
Yeah.
I don't know. I from the research, it was just like we just went through these really labor-intensive tracking sessions to do this double album thing with all the orchestration and all these things. We just wanted to do a plug-in and go type record.
Yeah. And that seems like the kind of band too, if they weren't doing anything, they were probably closer to dying, like very like
Right.
legitimately.
Yeah, we got to stay busy.
Stay busy.
Sure.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I could see that. I saw an interview with Axl where he just said like, it was kind of nice to do that so I could take the time to like figure out what
the next step
what
was?
the next step would be.
Sure.
So I guess it makes sense. I've never been a big fan of that Garage Inc. kind of a project.
Yeah. The covers thing.
Yeah, the covers thing. I don't know. I like to hear like a cover in a show or something that's kind
Live. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm with you there.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
novelty, but a whole album.
I could see this being sort of in rehearsal space or during sound checks. Mm-hmm. I could see them jamming on stuff without Axl being there even.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Duff sings a lot of tracks on
Yeah,
this.
that makes sense.
And, well, let's just record them real quick and in and out. So
Yeah. But I got nothing else on the album.
nothing else on the album.
It wasn't, I'd say it's not the worst thing you've made me listen to.
Oh, bless it. Yeah. Compared to Lulu, it's
Yeah.
a freaking masterpiece.
Yeah. So
It's like listening to the Sgt. Peppers or something after Lulu. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So there are 12 tracks on the record. If you want,
Oh.
are we going to do our,
How do I
our
forget
point
this every
system?
time?
That's
I'm
okay.
s-
So our point system,
Yep.
out of 12 tracks, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 4.
Hey, that's exactly the number I was heading
Hey,
to. Yeah, that's
okay.
the number I was heading to because there were a few things that I didn't mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably going to give it a 0 because those 4 points get taken away for the Manson cover.
So, all right, what do you want to discuss next? Are we discussing Axl? We kind of started.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I can go off on how, because, so anytime I listen to any live footage during this past week of Guns N' Roses, whether it was the Ritz or the Use Your Illusions, I, for whatever reason, I would put on some live stuff from Aerosmith and just be like,
Really?
I felt like they really wanted to be. I think Izzy really wanted to be Joe Perry, a la Keith Richards, and Axl wanted to be Steven Tyler, and neither of them are those guys. And when I hear Steven Tyler sing, some footage that I saw of Steven Tyler was like 2011. Some 2014 footage. Like the man is 71 years old
He can
can sing circles around Axl. Yeah. I saw some of the. We'll get to the Not in This Lifetime reunion tour that Slash and Axl have been doing, and I mean Axl's just he's enormous. First of all, and I think if you're not taking care of yourself, you're probably your vocals are gonna that's your instrument.
Yeah.
And Steven Tyler's got 20 plus years on Axl.
Yeah.
and just killing it, dude. Still killing it. And I mean, sorry. Steven Tyler, man. Those are my, if I had 2 words to say to Axl, I would say,
That's
or any of those knobs from the 80s, whether it was Rat or whoever, any of those bands, they all wanted to be Steven, and nobody can be Steven.
Yeah.
I'm a Steven apologist.
I guess. I mean,
So go.
so
you say you don't hate Axl?
I don't hate Axl.
Defend him for me.
I don't think he's a racist.
Okay.
I think one in a million or whatever was dumb. I don't even know how else to say it. Like,
Okay.
I think that was dumb.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the context historically, so his homophobic reference, that wasn't unique. And I think you'd probably find a lot of people who said that at the time who now wouldn't. So, you know, there's plenty of rap lyrics
Sure.
with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
plenty of everything. There's plenty of people who got very used to using that term as, and obviously it's not it doesn't justify it, but
Sure.
using it as a term without really any kind of homophobic meaning, just that it was just a way to
was the times.
insult somebody,
Yeah, it
which
wasn't
obviously
wasn't a hate crime at the time. So
I mean, it wasn't the same. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
again, not to try to justify it
No, I
in any
understand.
way, but
Yeah.
I don't actually think he hated those groups. Even the immigrants line.
Sure.
What's funny about that is what's the Jay-Z song with Alicia Keys, the New York one?
New York.
Yeah.
New York State of Mind. No, it's
No.
just New York, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, he's got that line in there. He says, with foreigners, it ain't fair. It's like they forgot how to act. And it's like, he can say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not that long ago.
Not that
Yeah,
long
yeah.
ago. And so I don't think he's racist. I think the Confederate flag thing, like there's a lot of people, there's a debate over that about can we just
Sure.
have that as a historical thing,
sure.
or does that just
That's a recent debate too.
yeah. So I mean, I think all of those, you put all those together, the Manson t-shirt, he's trying to poke. He has a Jesus t-shirt that says, you know, kill your idols on it.
Yeah.
He's trying to provoke people. And so there's a part of me, that little kid, you know, teenager in me that says, I like my rock stars to be writ large, to be bigger, larger than life, but also to be anti-establishment, to push, to be, you know, that
There's anti-establishment, and then there's
that kind of in your face, you know, pushing buttons, getting people to talk, getting
Sure.
people to think. And it's not always done with the most, you know, finesse or with.
Do you think Axl Rose is an intelligent person? And I don't mean that in any stupid, silly way. I mean, do you think Axl Rose was and is an intelligent guy? Because I get the feeling from looking at a lot of the behavior and even the stuff that I sort of grew up hearing about the guy.
Yeah.
That he had a rough childhood, was probably bullied, and then you gave the keys of the world to a guy that just, I mean,
Yeah.
it was never going to turn out okay.
So
it was
it's-
never going to go well if you give the keys to the kingdom to a guy like that.
Yeah. And is that not what rock and roll
The
is?
diva attitude.
In a way, though?
To an extent.
To an
Yeah,
extent,
to an
like-
extent. I mean, I know that how many other rock stars can we say that sort of had their moment in the sun, but they certainly weren't being or saying racist things or homophobic things or anti-immigrant things. And I
Yeah.
feel like who knows the man's heart?
Yeah.
So, and especially now he's in his 50s. I'm sure he's looked back on a lot of that and sort of regrets maybe I shouldn't have done that. I mean, Howard Stern does. I listened to a podcast on Conan O'Brien's podcast, and there was an episode with Howard Stern who was like, yeah, I really wish I hadn't have said this or I hadn't have treated that person this way. It's
That's
like
wild.
the man is like looking back on what he was famous for, the shock jock kind of thing, going like, ooh, man, whoops. And it's like, but without it, there's no interview on Conan O'Brien in retrospect.
Yep.
Because you wouldn't be who you are without it. So I'm with you, man.
So I like to believe, and
The guy seems like a mess.
he's a mess,
up
and I
top,
agree with you.
yeah.
He's a mess.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's really that kind of
Hatred in his heart.
Sure.
Sure.
Kind of thing.
And definitely, I would say maybe not anymore. But I mean, some of those vocal performances in those early years, I mean, that's coming from a place that's angry, for sure.
Yeah. And if we could talk about, the ending of the band, and
Yeah.
I kind of wish Chinese Democracy never happened. I kind of wish that they didn't do the reunion tour,
Yeah.
only because I haven't seen it,
Yeah,
but also because
the tickets are bananas.
yeah, but also because like the fact that they imploded,
Yeah.
the fact that he was so volatile, and then the band ended, and then he was like a recluse.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
To me, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean-
That's dying at 27 without having to die.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's that whole mystique.
That's exactly what happened to him. Yeah. It
And-
became like really a big thing that he was just, there was no public appearances from
Yeah.
him in like 6-7 years. And here's Slash, and he's out there doing Slash's Snake Pit. He did Velvet Revolver. I mean, Slash is just that guy, man. That workhorse is just like, I got to be playing my guitar. I feel like even if he's just sitting on his couch, it's got to be in his hands. I feel like he's that type, like a Jimi Hendrix type of guy. It's just never leaving his side.
Yeah,
so.
cooking bacon and
Yeah, so
played his guitar.
Yeah, there was a song. There was a movie called End of Days. Do you remember that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
no.
Stop all this church talk. It's- there was a song at the end of the day soundtrack called "Oh My God." It's the first thing anyone heard from Guns N' Roses in about 5 years. It was like this industrial metal
Okay.
song. And Slash at that time, when he was asked about it, said he was convinced more than ever that his departure from the band had been a wise decision,
Yeah.
and that Axl and him were definitely no longer on the same wavelength musically.
I mean, even on was it Use Your Illusion 2? He's like rapping at the end of the
Welcome
album.
my world or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
I know.
he was definitely trying things.
Which I respect. Yeah, I respect that. I mean, Slash just seems like a plug-in to the Marshall and Go kind of guy. So.
I want to play blues, bass,
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Yep.
And don't.
And it
bug me.
served him well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012. The very first year they were eligible, they got in.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, it is? Okay, because I want to ask, like, did they deserve that shit?
Yes.
Why?
What?
Why?
What?
And this is what I'm going to get around to.
Guns N' Roses? You're not going to put them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
The first year that they're eligible?
Oh, okay. So what does that matter?
Have they earned it? Because they were just this flash in the pan, and the canceled shows and the canceled tours and all the bullshit from Axl. This guy deserves to be in there.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
That's so rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, I guess I just look at it from a different sort of a like Slash deserves to be in there to me.
Well, technically,
Duff deserves to be in there
is-
to me.
is-
As far as Axl's concerned, I'm like
Axl's
the
not in
guy-
there, though.
The guy has screwed up because he didn't show up. He
no,
doesn't
no,
go
no.
in.
He his letter said like he didn't like.
I know.
Don't put me in it, right?
But
Like,
Guns
I
N'
don't-
Roses are.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Right.
I mean, he owns the.
he
owns it.
Guns N' Roses, yeah.
Oh, and another thing that I found in my research was all the other band members claim that, there was before this show where he forced us to sign this contract to give him the rights to Guns N' Roses or he wouldn't go on stage. So we all signed it because we had to kind of thing to get him on stage. And Axl, yeah, you never heard this story? It's pretty famous.
Okay.
Yeah, Slash and Duff and all those guys say that before a show, he presented them with some kind of contract that says, I don't go on stage unless you sign over the rights to the name Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
And that's why that's why he's able to call
Because I heard
it
a
that.
different story, but okay.
And Axl has vehemently denied. He's like, that's a lie. That never happened.
Yeah.
So what's Slash
So
and Duff
the-
talking
the
about?
story-
Even in Slash's book, he says it.
The story I heard
Okay.
was that the band's longtime attorney or something like that, in an attempt
Goldstein guy?
to try to keep the band together,
Right.
wrote up a contract that gave Axl the ownership of the band,
Yeah.
but no
The name, right?
of the name,
Yeah.
but no voting rights in the corporation of Guns N' Roses
Right.
if they
broke up.
disband.
Right.
Yeah. So he thought that would make it so that Axl would never leave because he wouldn't want to lose the voting rights bit.
Got ya.
So didn't work.
No, it didn't work. And
That's the story I heard anyway.
Yeah, and I mean the rest of the band's point of view is radically different, and
And you know
sort of-
what? That could be the agreement that they signed. Maybe they didn't like that agreement,
Sure.
and he pulled that stunt before a show to get them to sign.
But Axl denies it,
okay,
that he didn't pull that stunt. That didn't happen.
I don't
way.
know if I don't believe that.
Who cares? Who knows, right?
I don't believe it.
You think Axl did pull that stunt?
I would take Slash's word over Axl's
No question.
any day.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
Duff.
And Duff.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
but it's interesting that Axl.
I think that Axl probably believes it.
Yeah,
I don't think he's all there.
That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get around.
I don't think
to.
he's all there,
That
but I'm
Buddy is
saying-
pathological, man.
Yeah, I don't think he's all there, but I think you don't get the songs if you get a guy who's all there.
All right,
So you put
Axl's a genius.
You put up with it. I don't know.
Did
what
you
he
see?
is, but-
Did you see any footage with Axl with AC/DC?
Yeah,
And
I was impressed.
I was impressed too.
Yeah.
That was before the Guns N' Roses official tour. I think
Was
they'd
it?
done like Coachella and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
Angus came on stage with
Yep.
the Coachella and everything, but the full on
Mm-hmm.
like it's been let me see, Not in This Lifetime tour from 2016 to 2018. So it's another like a 2-year tour. It became the third highest grossing tour on record, with over $560 million. So they're just. This is what I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Is that.
That's
Are
what I mean. They're
are
an
they
important band.
Are they that good?
They're that important.
Why are they that important? Especially in like 2019. Who gives a shit about Guns N' Roses? But people do.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was anytime you're going to be the soundtrack to somebody's childhood
Sure.
or whatever, you're going to stay important. And when you're that big,
Right.
at the time, especially
Right.
pre-internet and the nicheification
Right.
of
Because there's
music.
something about like when you watch the performance of say something like Mr. Brownstone on the 88 Live, the Ritz thing. And the I used to do a little, and he's
Great lyric.
stroking the mic stand like it's a donger. and now in 2017-18,
Yeah.
he's still doing that.
It's really,
And he's fat bloated Axl.
Yeah.
I'm like, and he's still trying to do the serpentine dance. It's like, it's a little sad to me. Slash still looks awesome, and Duff is all like Axl didn't take care of himself, so he looks pathetic to me.
yeah.
And the voice is just not what it used to be. Actually, I feel like in his upper range when he's like, you know who you are, that's actually sounds not bad.
Good job, by the way.
But it's all in the mid range and in his lower thing. Like, dude, he's out of breath, and it's just so bad.
Yeah.
Whether it's cell phone footage or like Rock and Rio Pro Shot stuff, Axl's just like, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And that's why I went back to like Steven Tyler's got 20 plus years on him, and Tyler is just killing it.
Yeah. That band had to end
I agree. Yeah.
because you're aware of the term jumping the shark. So
From Happy Days?
from Happy Days, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So that's an industry term for we went too far.
Okay.
And now we can't top this.
Right.
You can't top the Fonz jumping, literally water skiing over a shark.
Right.
What do you do next? You can't beat that. The Guns N' Roses version is from from a song called Estranged,
Yeah.
where he's jumping over some dolphins. He's swimming with dolphins.
Yeah, I'm with you.
There's nothing to do after that.
No, there's nothing.
You did it. You jumped the dolphin, man. It's done.
So, okay.
And that video is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like we need to watch it.
They all were. November Rain, they all were.
No,
he
but
always ends up in the water somehow.
what I love is the moment where Slash emerges from the water
Oh my gosh.
to stand atop the water with his guitar,
Flipping heck.
firmly on his thigh, doing a Slash solo,
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
on the water. Why? And the thing I can't stand is like,
Why?
Slash, man, like you're the coolest. Like,
Yeah, he is the coolest.
did you not know back then that you could just be like, nah?
Yeah. Do you know how cool
I'm not
Slash
doing
is?
that.
This is how cool Slash is. Slash is so cool because on this Not in Your Lifetime tour, he's playing Chinese Democracy songs.
Wow.
He doesn't have to do that, dude. And he's opening the Chinese Democracy riff.
He's the coolest.
Slash is walking around stage and getting the fans amped up for playing that riff. He didn't write it. Had nothing to do with Chinese Democracy. Chinese Democracy isn't even a Guns N' Roses album as far as
No,
I'm
it's
concerned.
not.
It's an Axl Rose record.
Yeah.
But how
Wow.
cool is Slash,
Slash
dude?
is the coolest.
And they do several songs from that record live, like Better, which I love that song.
I didn't love that song.
I didn't hate Chinese Democracy. It just wasn't a Guns N' Roses album.
Yeah.
But there's some good tracks on there. And I can see that some of the production could be like a bit messy and
It's annoying because nobody's going to that show. Nobody's paying their $500 or whatever to hear those songs.
I know.
Like,
makes it a little
don't do
better
that.
if Slash does it though.
Yeah, but
He's doing the solos, like it's pretty cool, man, to see Slash. It's like, man, that's cool. Yeah. You want to do some Chinese Democracy stuff? Yeah, you bet. What?
are they at
That's
least
awesome.
long shows? Are they playing 3
Yeah,
hours?
They
like,
are.
Okay.
They are. They're playing.
Then that's cool.
You're not walking away going, "Oh, they didn't play this."
Okay.
They're playing everything. Yeah,
All right.
it's awesome, and that sort of leads into my like when we talk about our recommendations for this band.
Yeah.
The recommendations for this band, I am, and I don't need to defend Appetite for Destruction, but I am an Appetite, like the band were never the same. After Steven Adler was gone, they were never the same. I think that they never got better than Appetite. Appetite is Guns N' Roses. That's true Guns N' Roses
That's true
to
Guns
me.
N' Roses. I agree with that.
And that doesn't mean that you can't grow and that you can't stretch, but I'm not sure that's what was happening on those Use Your Illusion records. I feel like the Use Your Illusion albums, you could take the best tracks from both and have a really good single album, which every track would
Yeah.
be killer.
Yeah.
Like to me, there was a lot of filler,
Lots.
a lot of gappers. I think Geffen actually did that. I think they put out like a single, and
Did
it was
they
just and it
really?
was just called Use Your Illusion. I'm pretty sure, but I think it was unauthorized, but they did it. And there was like, dude, the amount of like lawsuits and this guy suing that guy and this going suing guy. It's happened so often in this band. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. So I want to go through recommendations for this band. If you had to introduce anybody to Guns N' Roses, I think it's obvious what my choice is,
Yeah, no,
but
it's-
it's yours as well.
Oh, yeah.
You're not recommending Chinese Democracy? So I'm not recommending Spaghetti Incident, but I guess if it's like, it's part of the repertoire, so you got to check it out. It's not like Lulu where I would say like, don't even bother.
Yeah.
You can skip it.
I don't think that.
And even Nostradamus, you do not have to listen to that.
No, I don't think the spaghetti incident is embarrassing, but
It's
I'd
not
say it's more
embarrassing.
in the throwaway
Yeah.
pawn shop bin.
Yeah.
if you
This
will.
this was definitely more of like a let's tackle Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And especially after the Metallica episode, because there's this whole history
Yeah.
with Metallica and Guns N' Roses and that whole tour.
Mm-hmm.
James being the whole pyrotechnic accident and then the riots.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bananas band to go after. So
What
Appetite is
Yeah,
obviously where
Appetite
we're
is
pointing
the
everybody.
one.
Could you point? Maybe do a greatest hits then after that, because I feel like Use Your Illusion 1
Mm-hmm.
has some stuff on it. Like I don't mind Coma, and I didn't mind their cover of Live and Let Die was cool, and
I liked that cover.
Yeah.
So I'm a child
November Rain's on that one
because I love November Rain. I mean,
it's so long.
I love every ounce of that.
You need some time
It's so cool.
on your own. Yeah.
I love that tune.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just love it. So I like the big pop hits. I don't mind them. I can't listen to Don't Cry. But otherwise, I can listen to all the hits. I was never a big Patience fan.
No, not big on it.
Or Civil War. I wasn't a huge Civil War
Yeah.
fan. But
Funny story about Civil War is that in grade school, I don't know, 10, 11, and the school was like, we're going to put on like this talent show. And it's like a lip sync battle type thing.
that's not a talent.
And so all of these, it's not?
Lip syncing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could be bad at it
Okay.
and you could be good at it.
Okay.
Dude, you didn't see Tom Holland do lip sync battle against Zendaya?
Yeah,
That was pretty
yeah,
impressive.
no, it's-
He did Rihanna, dude.
I'm sorry.
All right. Anyway.
Don't give me that look, man.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, okay. So they did the lip sync kind of contest, And I remember these bunch of kids went up and they did Nothing But a Good Time from Poison. Mm-hmm. And I had to like drag a couple of buddies of mine. I'm not going to call them friends, but they were like people that I kept company with.
Yeah.
Prepubescents. Yeah. And we did Civil War.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it would have been like 91. So I'm like 11.
Did you kill it?
10, 11. Of course not. Oh, it would have been awful. It would have been horrendous. So man. Appetite, that's where we're going.
Appetite.
I love Appetite. I still do.
Yeah.
Anytime one of those songs comes on the radio, though, I do skip it and turn it off or something because I don't need to hear Paradise City again. I don't need to hear Sweet Child of Mine again.
Interesting.
When I listen to Appetite, I look forward to things like My Michelle, Rocket Queen.
Mr. Brownstone was always my jam.
Mr. Brownstone.
Yeah.
I like that tune.
Yeah.
Night Train was cool. Night Train was the only GNR tune that Slash and Miles Kennedy played at the show we saw.
And it was the final encore, right? Like
No, the final encore was some jam.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. They just jammed for like 5 minutes.
It was weird.
That was dumb.
It was a weird way to end the show.
Yeah.
Why don't you end it on Paradise City or Night Train, right?
Yeah.
It leaves us going, dang. But we left the show going, cool.
We saw Slash in real life.
We got to see Slash in real life, and we got to see Miles, who's a big vocal hero of mine.
Yeah.
Miles Kennedy, shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
can I say one more thing before we finish?
Before we do the weakest link?
Oh, the weakest link. Go ahead.
Weakest link?
Weakest link.
Do I even have to say it?
Yeah. Axl Pose.
Well done.
Yeah.
Is the same for you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. One more thing before we wrap then. Axl's the weakest link.
Axl had his own signature Converse sneaker.
Oh, cool. I forgot
How
you were a
cool
shoes guy.
is that?
I forgot you were a shoes guy. So they were high tops?
They were high top Converse. They were like a combination Converse weapon.
Yeah.
And I think they were called like an ERX or something like that. It was like the tennis shoe.
Was the requirement like you had to wear really tight spandex shorts when you bought these shoes? It came with a free pair?
I was going to...
And then that microphone with the white pop screen
I was
going
to surprise you wearing some, white boxer briefs for this episode.
They don't know you're not.
I thought that would be really cool.
It would have been hard for me to focus. I think.
That's why I didn't.
I mean, you're not getting that killer Christopher Walken impression if you're wearing those tights.
But who gets their own sneaker? Like, they said
they're-
Axl on them.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were like, I'd wear them if they released
So
them.
what company is this? I'm sorry.
Converse.
Converse.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were
He
like,
had that's crazy. That's
It was
hip-hop.
awesome.
That's hip hop.
yeah.
Wow.
And this was,
And he hated black people.
And actually, he was big on NWA. I saw an interview with Dr. Dre where he said he saw Axl Rose wearing an NWA hat, I think, or T-shirt or something, and he was like, how in the world does this guy know who we are? They were still selling records out of their trunk.
I have a comment on that though,
Go.
because when we used to live in Windsor,
Yeah.
there was across the street, our neighbors, they had like their grandson used to live with them.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was not young. He was like younger than me, but like in his late 20s or whatever. And he came out and he's wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt. I was like, oh, cool. You like Guns N' Roses? And he's like, oh, I don't know who these guys are.
Yeah.
He just bought it at a store
Okay.
because he thought it looked cool.
Okay.
You think Axl knew who NWA was?
Oh, yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He was a poser. Axl
No.
Pose. It's Axl Pose. He's looking for street cred, my brother.
That's why he had the Nirvana
You got it.
hat in the
Kurt
thing.
Cobain hated him.
I know Kurt Cobain, but this is pre Kurt Cobain, like them having their little thing.
Oh yeah, didn't Axl want Nirvana to open for them?
Yeah, yeah.
Which tour was it though? Was it the Illusion?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
and Kurt was like,
yeah, we're not doing that because he had sense.
because Kurt was smart.
Yeah, because it was like, hey, Kurt, do you want to like come up through the water and play a guitar solo on top of the water? And he was like, no, obviously not.
I'm gonna sit here and not wash my hair.
Oh yeah, but anyway, the man had his own sneaker, and
That is cool.
We have now done 4 episodes of Check the Credits, and out of those 4 episodes, you have Axl has his own sneaker.
Yeah.
Every member of Metallica has their own sneaker.
For real?
Yeah, they've got signature Vans, which
wow.
they're all dope. Every single one of them, and each guy got to design his own.
Does Lars have like a skullet in the back? Like these tassels.
When do I get a chance to fucking rebut?
That's so mean. Don't be so mean. That's our guy. That's our
I'm
guy.
sorry. I think I'm in a mood today.
That's our guy. That's Lars.
I'm a hater today. I'm sorry.
So they've got their own. Nas doesn't.
But he's got.
I saw some kind of custom thing that he had, but like, I think he's got his own sneaker boutique store. Van Halen, nothing.
Gary Schrone's got his own
Van
sneaker.
Halen has got.
You got to twerk in these. But it has to be to a Queen
He's
song.
got twerking shoes.
Good gravy.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was
That is
awesome.
Cool. Yeah. I know Chinese Democracy is the most expensive album ever made in
Oh yeah.
history. It's $13 million or something it made, or it cost to make this record.
so
Eventually, Geffen pulled their funding, and so check out Appetite. Spaghetti Incident. Meh.
Nah.
It's the Whoops.
Yeah.
in the Guns N' Roses. So check us out on all your social
Favorite channels,
media channels.
Yeah.
and all that
Subscribe.
jazz.
Listen. Subscribe. Give ratings. Good ratings.
Sure.
That is. Reviews.
Yeah, don't give bad ratings. Nobody's forcing you
Yeah.
to get,
And in your reviews, don't be all YouTube commenty about it. Like,
if
people
you're
are
from
people are
Indonesia, you can
legitimate.
let us know that you're from Indonesia.
That's fine. Do that because
Yeah.
we would love to know that.
Yeah.
But like people, when they're looking for a podcast to listen to, they want to legitimately know.
Yeah.
What is this? Do you like
Yeah.
this? Is this good? So don't show up and just be like, something about Dio
Or
something.
Ozzy.
or Ozzy.
Because we got one here.
Yeah.
On a GNR episode.
Yeah.
Ripping up poor Ozzy.
Yeah. So I mean, do that. It helps us out. We appreciate it. Mikey, anything left?
No, man. Check the credits. Thanks for joining us. Until the next time.
Well, thanks to the lame ass security, I'm going home.
Well done.
You have recently enjoyed a Check the Credits podcast, a program I can only assume you've enjoyed on a radio receiver that would have been at your disposal. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And I have no idea what any of that means because I'm a broadcaster guy from the 1920s. Thank you, and good night.